Hey, good day. Welcome to another episode of Raw Report on the Go. How you doing today? All right, so I'm reading this article. It said Warren wins prize Des Moines register endorsement. It's the most coveted media endorsement in the First Nation state. You really think this matched up to what Joe Rogan just did? Joe Rogan has the biggest podcast in America that the Des Moines Register, most Americans don't listen to, most Americans don't watch, most Americans don't have no idea what the Des Moines Register coveted, whatever it is. Nobody's heard of this. It's the most coveted media endorsement in the first in the nation state. What the hell that mean? They're doing whatever they can to resurrect her and Joe Biden, which is their planned attempt to get together. Kamala Harris will not be Joe Biden VP. Joe Biden figured he can get the black belt vote without Kamala Harris, so forget about it. She's not going to be his VP. What they're trying to do is they're going to end up trying to get Warren to join this ticket, thinking they're going to get Bernie Sanders supporters. Not understanding that she is not. Everybody knows she's not Bernie Sanders. Most people know she's not the second best thing to Bernie Sanders. So Bernie Sanders is starting to get a lead. And you know me, one of the things I try to do with the Raw Report is not to be biased, not to be one-sided, but to always try to tell the truth as I see it. And right now, Bernie Sanders is running away with this thing. Bernie Sanders is starting to gain more in the black support. He's gaining more in women. Heck, he had more women support than Hillary Clinton had. Heck, Donald Trump got more women support than Hillary Clinton had. He's gaining in a lot of areas. So right now, then here's Joe Rogan with the number one podcast in America who had him on the show. He endorsed Bernie. Pretty much say he'll vote for Bernie. He's thinking about endorsement. It's not a full-fledged, he's my guy. He just said, I'm thinking about endorsing Bernie Sanders, and this is why. And boy, the news media just went off. The lamestream news media just went off. And they're going to try to push him to take back that endorsement. And I'm telling you now, the dumbest thing you can ever do other than deciding to stab your supporters in the back in 2016 and go independent and beat two of the most horrible candidates in history. The thing was handed to you, bruh. But you decide to go with her. That was the number one dumb thing in my book that you can ever do. Second dumb thing is letting these Democrats try to control you on who gets to support you and who do not get to support you, who get to talk about the flaws of your opponents and who don't. Who gets to endorse you? Who gets to endorse you? You did it with Chink. I'm not a big fan of Chink. Sink, Chink, Pink, Fink, whatever his name is. I'm not a big fan of his, but you remade his endorsement. He's not David Duke. You're going to take it away from, you're going to take, Lord, and then here's Zephyr Teach Out tell the truth about Joe Biden corruption. And you're going to say, I don't agree with that. Joe Biden's my friend. That Joe Biden's my friend is going to kill you. That's going to kill you if you win the general election. It's going to be a weapon of Donald Trump in the general election. It really is. Well, let me get back to this. So bad enough don't you dare take back strong endorsements, especially when those strong endorsements probably apologize for things that they said in the past. Probably admitted that I was young and things like that. Because Joe Rogan said some things that everybody don't agree. I probably say some things that everybody don't agree. People are not going to think like you. And you shouldn't just accept endorsements from people who think exactly like you. And people are not going to think like most Democrats, and you shouldn't accept just Democratic endorsements. And Joe Rogan got a platform that goes through all different democratic. His show is not about one-sideism. But let's go over this. It's the most coveted media endorsement in the nation. It's not more coveted than Joe Rogan. Even the New York Times endorsement is not more coveted than Joe Rogan. And I don't watch Joe Rogan all the time. Every now and then, I think the last time I watched Joe Rogan, Kevin Hart was on there. But I don't watch it that much. Let's read this. Elizabeth Warren has won the coveted. Oh, they trying their best to make it seem like it's a big deal to get your attention back on her. Wow, she won that. Then they must see something I don't see. It's probably a fake award, just like her Native American heritage. Covenant endorsement of the Iowa's top newspaper, a significant boost for the Massachusetts senator campaign. How is a boost? Just because she got an endorsement, that don't mean her campaign is going to get boosted. It's not going to move the needle because all of a sudden she got this. Everybody going to change their mind, turn away from Bernie, turn away from Joe Biden, turn away from everybody and start to support her. You know, these things sometimes are by design, like the Working Families Party. Oh, y'all thought that was going to give it. Y'all made that dumb endorsement of her. Turn your back on your working people. And the leadership decided to make that endorsement. And it still ain't getting her that far. Your Massachusetts senator is campaigning in a highly competitive first in the nation presidential contest. It did not boost her campaign. And you can see it in the latest polls. The Des Moines Register editorial board interviewed 9 Democratic candidates who have spent significant time in Iowa before announcing this decision Saturday. Okay. The outstanding caliber of Democratic candidates make it difficult to choose just one, the board wrote. But ultimately, it declared Warren is the best leader for these times. How in the blue heaven and hell did you figure that out? How? Miss lied throughout her entire career to gain access. How? Oh, I get it. You're used to saying these type of politicians are the best. One that lie and do the status quo type thing. The endorsement comes 9 days before the February 3rd caucus, providing enough time for Warren to highlight it in the ad. Oh, and that's what this for. They gave her this endorsement. They try to get her to boost her campaign up, so she's going to put it in the ad. What weak politician wants to put it in the ad that they got? Well, then again, you got car dealerships, if they are losing when it comes to car sales, they want to put up about all the JD Power awards that they. I don't give a crap about that, man. Do my car run? Regular people ain't worrying about what kind of awards you got. And actually, regular people ain't worrying about endorsement. And regular people not even worrying about Joe Rogan's endorsement. I mean, Joe Rogan ain't no different from me. Joe Rogan could endorse Warren. Still ain't gonna move me to vote for Warren. But some people do respect Joe Rogan. Some people gonna actually think these celebrities know better than them. All right, so it's in another highly anticipated, providing enough time for Warren to highlight it in an ad. So this is designed to help her with her ads. Right now, she probably got ads being made up so she can flood the market before the caucus. Not understanding that this newspaper is a heavy Democratic-leaning newspaper, just like CNN, Washington Post, and things like that. And not understanding that this is a open primary. This is a caucus, man. Anybody can go out there and vote. And I guarantee you, she ain't going to get the numbers that she thinks she's going to get. Joe Biden's not going to get it. I guarantee you, Bernie Sanders is going to blow this thing away. I guarantee you. And it's not based on my own opinion. It's just based on the ground. It's based on the grassroots movement that Bernie Sanders have on the ground. With the weight of army that he has and the amount of money he has and the way he's doing his ad campaign and how he's trying his best not to seem like he's a attack dog, it will pay off. I don't like it in some instances, but it'll pay off. The endorsement comes 9 days before February 3rd caucus, providing enough time for Warren to highlight it in an ad. And another highlight anticipated marker, next Saturday, the Register final poll will be published online and revealed live in CNN. Now, I prophesy to you, the polls is going to lean toward Warren in a last-ditch effort to try to undermine Bernie Sanders' lead in that state. That's what it's going to do. You understand these people not calling all Americans in Iowa? They're not calling, they just doing it their way so they can get their results. So they can spin a narrative to have you believe that this person is winning, like Charlie Sheen. The Register is the most important media endorsements in the state. Regular people don't give a crap. I don't give a. Its effect may even be more pronounced this year because polling indicates that the race is still up for grab. That's the lie you're trying to tell these people, and it's not up for grab. Warren is going to continue to fall. Pete Buttigieg is going to continue to fall, and in a surprise look, Tulsi is going to probably get third place because they're not polling independents and Republicans in this whole effort in its Democratic nomination in the primaries. They're not polling Republicans and independents. And Republican independents favor Tulsi in most cases more than Warren. So don't sleep on Tulsi. She may eke out with third. Heck, she might even surprise us and eke out with second. I doubt first, but at least third or second. She's going to do way more better than most people thought. I believe she's going to shock everybody, and that's why she have not given up. Because polling indicate the race is still up for grab, and a significant portion of the caucus goers are open to supporting. Portion of the caucus goers are open to supporting a candidate who isn't their first choice. Though Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden have each led in recent polls of the state, they're closely bunched with two other top-tier contenders, Warren and Pete Buttigieg. Now, if you go look at the late polls in this week, Warren and Buttigieg have dropped tremendously. Bernie has eclipsed and even passed, if that's not saying, Biden. And Biden getting a little nervous, so he's trying to go on the attack. And other Democrats trying to go on the attack. People who always talk about party unity, like Hillary Clinton, like Neera Tanden, like Karen Finney, they're all on the attack. The Massachusetts senator is not the radical some perceive her to be. The board says, oh, she's not radical at all, says BOBTV. Noting that Warren was a registered Republican until 1996, kind of like Hillary Clinton, the editorial casts her as a capitalist who supports fair market, and she is admitted saying that she is. And if you go check the last State of the Union, when Donald Trump mentioned capitalists should rule and we're not going to let socialism take over, she stood up and clapped. Support fair market with the rules and accountability and advocate for a government that works for its people, not influence of money. The board drew contrast between President Warren and Donald Trump on the economy, writing that Warren doesn't measure economic success via the stock market or unemployment rates as Trump does, but by how working families are doing it. Also said her competence, respect for others, and status as the nation's first female president will be fitting response to the ignorance, sexism, xenophobia of the Trump office. So what some of these Democrats are trying to do, they're trying to do a hard slap back on Trump. They couldn't do it with gay Obama. They couldn't do it with Latino Obama. They couldn't do it with female black Obama. So let's do it with Hillary Clinton 2.0 because Joe is starting to lose his so-called momentum. And we already know Mike Bloomberg trying to buy his way up, and it's not going to work. So right now, just like New York Times, they're trying to make it about women. Nothing's wrong with that if that women got a stellar history of being consistent like Bernie Sanders have. Bernie Sanders have a consistent record. You may like it or not, but it's consistent. It's not a ploy on your emotion. It's not a head fake. He is what he is. And these people don't like that. So first of all, they need to say we need a radical change. So let's endorse a woman. See, when my former union, TWU, decided to do something different and support Bernie Sanders in 2016, the Democratic elite got upset. It was a shock. Even some of the leaderships at some of the people at the union got upset because they really haven't taken time to really get familiar with the record of Bernie Sanders, but they knew about Hillary Clinton. So it's kind of threw a lot of people for a shockwave. And it did in general in the labor movement, but TWU and the president at that time knew the right way to go because labor needed a champion. And like him or not, Bernie Sanders is a labor champion. Bernie Sanders was a labor champion before he ran for office. Matter of fact, Bernie Sanders did not ever want to run for presidency. He wanted Warren to run for president, and she was too much of a punk. Yeah, I say Each. I didn't put no B in it, to run. So they're looking at Trump and they're looking at her. They're not looking at Trump. What's the best way we can send a message that we don't like Trump? Well, let's get an older white man who's polling well with Trump. Nah, that ain't gonna do it. Joe Biden move. Let's get an old man that's for the people, working people mainly, and has great policies and has the ability to push it because he is good at working and getting other people elected. Let's push him. No, we need a strong. We need somebody that's close to this person, but a female. Well, Elizabeth Warren did her DNA test and found out that she's 1/10% of Bernie Sanders. You're not Bernie Sanders. So they're trying to say we need that female who could push back and be the opposite of Trump on economic success, because Trump thinks success is by the stock market, unemployment rate, and all that. And we need somebody that's going to let them know it's more than that. But by how working families are doing it also said her competence, respect for others, and the status of the nation's first female president would be a fitting response to ignore the sexism. See, this is just to get back at Trump. We're going to give this award to Elizabeth Warren to get back at Trump. They're not giving the award because she did any great things for the American people that's way more better than what Trump has done for people. They're just not. This is dumb. New York Times did it. Now this respected, credible organization gave her this award, and she has no fitting, no stellar record, a history of 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years of working for the people. They'll rather take somebody who just transferred from being a Republican into a Democrat, work with Obama, do the Consumer Protection Agency, slap people on the hand, never put nobody in jail, all that. Let's just get her. But let me keep going. Some of Warren's policies seeking big structural change on corporate government and taxation go too far, the board cautioned. But Warren is pushing in the right direction. Really. And many of her proposals, it continued, would improve life in America, and they're generally shared by other Democrats who bring their own strength to the race. But having good ideas is not enough. You got to have a strategy to get those ideas implemented. And she can promise the world, but she can't show no way of her getting these things passed. She's just all hot air. She'll get better done from running her mouth from her butt than her mouth on her face. Because she could talk this good game, but if you're not able to get people elected to help you get these things passed, and see, I don't understand why these people don't understand this. In order to get your mission, your mandate, your agenda out in the limelight, it's going to take an army. And it's going to take an army of people saying, look, we want this. And if you're not going to give it to us, then get out of face. Get out of here. And no, don't bring up this Trump mess, because this ain't about Trump. This is about America. This is about America. You show me what you've done in the past, what you're doing now, what you're planning on doing in the future. I got your back. But don't just come talk. And show me how others will be able to assist you in doing it. How many people have you got to run for office? How many people have you and Ken? How many leaders in Congress right now that can credit you for their success? Anyway, let me keep going. In many of her proposals, it continues would improve life in America, and they're generally shared by other Democrats. All they think about is these Democratic candidates who bring their own strength to the race. Two of the top four candidates, plus Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar, who posed at a distant fifth in Iowa, are stuck in Washington, D.C. 6 days a week until the conclusion of President Donald Trump's impeachment trial in the Senate. That reality has forced the senator to dispatch surrogates across the states throughout the week while Biden and Buttigieg continue to campaign there in person. And all this stuff is designed. They want to keep these people off the field so Biden and Buttigieg can get a chance to get their numbers up. Nobody's to compete with right now. Warren and Senators and Klobuchar, however, traveled to Iowa on Saturday for events before they're scheduled to return to Washington on Monday. Warren was taking photos with supporters following an event in Muscatine when news of the endorsement landed. I just heard and I'm delighted, she told reporters in a brief comment. It really means a lot to me. Yeah, it could mean a lot to you. Congratulations. It ain't going to help you get up in the numbers because real people don't give a crap about that. What real people do is see how committed you are to your friendships. Real people look at you to see that if you are really a true friend to people who say you're friend. That's why I get tired of Bernie Sanders talking about they're my friend of mine. She's just stabbed you in the eyeball, man. While you were looking at, you saw the knife come into your eyeballs and you still allow it to go in your eyes. That is not a friend. She stabbed you in both eyeballs and in the heart, turn you around, stab you in the back, then turn around and stab you in the butt. I cannot trust nobody. You talking about you're my friend. Yet all the time you're looking to stab me in the back. And I predicted this in my Twitter page. I showed pictures of how Warren was going to stab Bernie Sanders in the back. She's never been there for working people when they needed her. She's too calculated. She's too safe. And she's not going to do anything to jeopardize her career. And we're looking for people who really risk it all for us. Because how are you going to expect us to risk it all for you and you're not willing to risk it all for us? In his editorial, the board praised the other top candidate as well. Biden would restore credibility in the White House and respect among the allies around the world. Buttigieg bring refreshingly smart youthful optimism. Klobuchar offers a track record of bipartisan achievement, and Sanders champions the working class. But we'll go back. Because even though I got my issues with Sanders, and they're more or less than, and they're on a few. Sanders does all these things that the other ones Sanders would restore credibility in the White House better than Biden and respect among allies better than Biden. Sanders brings smart, youthful opposition into the party because he inspires a base of young, new leadership that's in the office right now. And Sanders offers a track record of bipartisan achievement better than Amy Klobuchar. And he champions the working class. But at this moment, our country needs more. And the board said at this moment, when the very fabric of American life is at stake, go ahead with that crap, gloom and doom crap. Folks, don't bring me the gloom and doom stuff. It don't work here with me. Don't just fear mongering. Oh, the world's going to go to the end. Even when it comes to climate change, people been talking about climate change. Now, I'm not saying that the scientists are not right, and I'm not saying that we don't need to fix this. But bringing the doom and gloom to the point where people get depressed, I'm not having that. I don't want to hear it. Don't bring it here. I don't like doom and gloom. Okay, I'm going to always push back because as long as you breathe, you got to celebrate the day that you in. Because you may not have the next day while you're worrying about the next 10, 20 years. You need to be worried about today. All right, so let's keep going. When the very fabric of American life is at stake, Elizabeth Warren is the president this nation needs. Let me say that a little different. At this moment, when the very fabric of American life is at stake, Elizabeth Warren is the president this nation needs. Oh, you mean the one who kind of lied to get on her um take her bar exam? The one who lied about her father being a janitor? The one who lied about being Cherokee? Talking about one. The one who had a chance to help Bernie win Michigan. It was so close, and that's her friend, more than her friend than Hillary Clinton, and she just decided not to endorse him because she figured she might, and I'm estimating that she might can get a seat in the Clinton administration. The one who clapped her hand off out there campaigning for Clinton. And the one who just literally lied saying that Bernie Sanders told me that a woman can't be president. She's the lady that America needs. Get the out my face with that mess. In the latest poll published Saturday morning, the New York Times, Siena College, Sanders led the pack with 25% support, followed by Buttigieg at 18%, Biden at 17%, Warren at 15%, Klobuchar at 8%. Nearly 40% of likely caucus goers said they could be persuaded to support a candidate who isn't their first choice. So they're basing this on their first choice. And they only polled 40% of likely caucus goers. Why don't you take time and focus on people who may or may not go to the caucus? And is this 40% of likely caucus goers in the Democratic Party, or this work all around? The endorsement of Warren comes just one day after her campaign appeared to lower expectation in all her states. Y'all need to continue to lower it. Lower it. Don't get no high expectation, because this award is not going to motivate and inspire Iowans to come out and just lift Chief Elialata up in the air and bring her to the native rain dance and have her rain down support money and boost her campaign. It's not going to happen. In a memo to supporters Friday, campaign manager Roger Lowe framed the first four nomination states as just the beginning. Roger, you did not win a state. Winning an endorsement or a award don't mean jack. You can post it up on your wall. It doesn't mean the American people support you. We expect this to be a long nomination fight. I don't. And have built our campaign to sustain well past Super Tuesday and stay resilient no matter what breathless media narrative comes when voting begins. This itself is a breathless media narrative. Lau, this is a media attempt to paint a picture that she still got the juice. And I told you, you may have some juice. It could be one of them little juices that you get from school. They come in a little lunchbox, or it can be a big 64 ounce or 4 liter jug of Tropicana. All juice is not the same. Fresh squeezed orange juice is the best thing on earth, but it's better and it's way better than stale orange juice that's been left out for 3 days. And Elizabeth Warren is stale orange juice left out for 3 days. Don't nobody want that mess. You drink it, you get sick. It's too acidic, and you may mess up your stomach and be sick for the next few days. And America don't need that. In Iowa, candidates must garner 15% support in precincts to reach so-called viability, which makes them eligible to win delegates to the Democratic National Convention. Supporters of the candidates who aren't viable in the first round of voting can switch to another candidate in the second round. Again, this whole thing is designed to do that. It's designed to take support from Bernie Sanders and try to give it to Elizabeth Warren or Joe Biden for the sake of delegate count. We already knew this. That's why when it came down to him, I'm not mad at Bernie Sanders. I'm mad at Bernie Sanders for not going independent. I'm not mad at him for trying to change the Democratic platform, but He took a lot of losses in trying to change that Democratic platform. And Democrats hate him for that. And this is one of the losses that he took. Super delegates should have been eliminated, period. Should have been no first round, second round, none of that. I win, I get the delegates. That's it. The delegates can't make a choice we know you won and we know we supposed to go to you, but we're gonna go wherever we want. That should be illegal because that's rigging an election. And this ain't Russia doing this. These are Democratic politicians doing that. I'm gonna go with Joe. I'm gonna go with because the Democrats don't like it. Contrary to Hillary saying that everybody don't like him, that's because she's in that DC bubble and she's in that Democratic bubble and she don't get out. So in that case, yeah, Democrats don't like Bernie Sanders. But the people in general across the United States do. Despite recent endorsement from the New York Times, which also backed Warren, who cares, and the Quad City Times, Klobuchar appears to be in jeopardy of falling short of 15% threshold in precincts. If that happens, Biden would be the biggest beneficiary. This is all designed for Klobuchar, Warren, or everybody to give their delegates over to Biden in hopes of getting the VP spot. I mean, this thing is like poker with these people. The Democrats is playing poker with this nomination. They got the nerve to talk about Russia interfering, and they're doing the interfering right now as we speak, the Democratic Party, with this poker. I'm going to give you some of my chips so you can have a better advantage of winning this game. And like this person said, if that happens, Biden would be the biggest beneficiary, as a majority of the Klobuchar supporters said they will back the former vice president. Of course, centrist going to look, right-wing Republican Democrats going to look like right-wing Republican. They're going to look out for each other. But I'm here to let you know, it's more us than them. They would back the former vice president if they had to choose among the top 4 candidates. 18% of them say they would support Warren in that scenario. Biden is already, they're not talking too much about Bernie Sanders in this thing. Hatred is real. Biden is already bolstered by some of the state's top Democrats. Tom Vilsack, the former governor and President Barack Obama's agriculture secretary. Of course. And his wife has backed him, of course. As well have Representatives Cindy Axne and Abby Finkelner. Names I don't give a crap. They're no names to me. 2 of the state's 3 congressional Democrats don't give a crap. The third representative is David Lobosak. Lobosak, yeah. He probably is one. A sack of lobe. They support Pete Buttigieg. Stephen Shepard contributed to this report. Now, my comment and I'm done. When these wars go out, a lot of time it's planned. It's strategy. Have you ever watched TV shows? And I know people say TV shows are fantasies, but sometimes they're not. Because a lot of the time those TV shows got advisors from the real world to advise people on how it actually goes in real life so you can have the feel of real life in that show. It's kind of like Wag the Dog. Kind of like, House of Cards. They're trying to use this endorsement. They use endorsements to try to boost up numbers, and they use endorsements to try to create a political ad that they can blast all in that particular area to try to get respect. Wow. Ebony magazine has endorsed Joe Biden. So that means all us black people, since we respect Ebony magazine, we need to go down there and get Joe Biden a vote. Which one is more important to you people? An endorsement or somebody's track record? See, great and big as that Joe Rogan endorsement, it ain't bigger than the record. You can throw all the endorsements in my face and tell me this person was endorsed by this person, endorsed by that person. I don't give a crap. Most Americans don't give a crap. Most Americans don't even know about these people endorsement, and most American people don't give a crap. My thing is, what's your records like? What did you do today? What did you do yesterday? What are you doing today? Don't tell me about all these promises. What you going to do for me in my community? You asking me for your vote. What are you going to give me for it? That's all Iowans, like most Americans, care about. And when the Iowa caucus come, she can have 13, she can do 20 ads bragging about her New York Times endorsement and this Iowa caucus endorsement, and it won't mean a hill of beans to regular working people in Iowa. What's going to happen is going to be a blowout. Bernie Sanders is going to blow it out because he blew it out the last time, and it's an open primary, and it's not about just Democrats voting in this situation. This is open to everybody to vote. So he's going to blow this thing away, and you're going to get a surprise. You're going to be surprised about how well Tulsi Gabbard is going to do that day. I predict if she don't come in. I really predict that she'll come in third. She might do better than that because she don't get the media coverage. She's not on the debate stage, but yet she continue to make headlines. She's showing that she got gut galls and balls, or ovaries, whatever you want to call it, basketballs. She got all that. She's showing that she's willing to stand up against the Democratic, and she's willing to stand up for the American people, even if she tell the Democratic Party kiss her behind. I'm not following your lead. I'm not in this so you can get a win or a check off. I'm in this to help the American people so they can get a win or check off. That message right alone will cause her to hit third place or maybe second. Bernie's platform is causing him to gain in numbers and staying true to his platform and getting the message out. I believe if he get enough some of that fiery guts to push back at the establishment and stop apologizing and saying somebody your friend and all that, I believe if he gets some galls and balls every now and then, not all the time. Sometimes you got to weigh your option. But him showing that himself being that he's willing to fight for us and his supporters and his surrogate, his numbers will go up. But let me tell you something. I tell you this. Joe Biden's not going to do so good in the Iowa caucuses or New Hampshire. Elizabeth Warren ain't going to do jack. And if they did, they're going to rig this thing to give all the delegates to Joe Biden to put a harm toward Bernie Sanders. Now, me being a non-party person and not liking either the Democrats or Republican, I should not even care. And me, I got my own personal agenda that I'm pushing. But one thing I don't want to happen, I don't want the Democrats trying to rig this election. If Bernie Sanders earned those delegates, he need to get those delegates. I don't need that. And Tulsi Gabbard is smart. She's like, look, I don't need to be on TV to gain national exposure to win these people's hearts in the state. Screw the TV. I'll go to the state and spend time with these people in the state. And that's what she did. And that's what Hillary Clinton would not do when it came to the general, and the reason why she didn't win all the states enough to win the election, because that's how you win. You win by the states, not by the popular vote. Anyway, I'm done. I talked too much. I'm out of here. Not feeling too good right now, but I had to get that one off me chest. Elizabeth Warren got another lame award. This prestigious stellar award will give Elizabeth Warren the boost that she needs to get back in the limelight with Joe Biden and almost say Joe Budden, Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders. We need a woman to compete with the older white men in the race. There they go with this sexism. If anything, that is sexism and racism. The white woman has to beat the white older man. Boy, I tell you what, this sexism, boy, and this racism, y'all got to go somewhere with that crap. I'm Robert Brown with the Rob Report on the go. I'll let you later. Peace.